This is going to be a little bit informal because I just got home. It's 7:44 as of time of recording. I had to watch highlights and stuff of this game. So let me just straight up say, real quick, Bryce Young had a very mid game. He showed great flashes. Once again, he is one of the two people on the offense that can actually do anything. But yes, he did make some bad rookie mistakes that did make sure the Panthers' window to win was very small and eventually, of course, closed. Like, he did have some issues. He did have some bad reads. There was no way to get around that. I've been on air saying, like, praising him, telling everyone he's not the problem. And again, he is not the problem. But he did have a pretty, he had some questionable moves today. Moving on from Bryce Young, because of course that's all people ever want to talk about when it comes to the Panthers, talking about the game as a whole and the team as a whole, holy fuck, coaching staff still, firing Reich, that didn't do much. We need to fire more. We fired McCown, Deuce Staley, and Reich, and nothing had seemed to change. Thomas Brown's offensive play calling seems to mirror Reich's in almost every facet. Like, there are more rollouts, there are more play action stuff, but not enough. You're still not catering to the quarterback's abilities, which means that I am getting infuriated by having to watch the highlights and seeing that we're still running on 3rd and 4th and 1. I have my headphones on because I'm looking at the stats right now. Bryce Young, 1531, 178, and 1 interception. But we also had Chuba Hubbard, and I want to get to this because Thomas Brown, with the game on the line, an opportunity to keep the window to win open, you have Chuba Hubbard, who had put up over 100 yards, the only one of two backs to put up 100 yards on Tampa Bay's premium rush defense, and you don't give him the ball on 3rd and 1, and then don't do it on 4th and 1? Are you kidding me? He had 25 carries for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was the 2 touchdowns this game that were just great. But just still, you do nothing. Miles Sanders, still a disappointment free agent signing. Raheem Blackshear only had 1 carry. Jonathan Mingo, he had a pretty all right day. 6 catches, 69 yards, an average of 11.5. DJ Chark had 3 for 56. Adam Thielen had 3 for 25. Stephon Sullivan had 1 for 16. Ian Thomas 1 for 6. Miles Sanders 1 for 6. Just the receiving core still sucks. Still can barely get open. But there were some actual good plays from at least the young guy, Jonathan Mingo. That is what I'm seeing. So that is something to hang your hat on. But still, this receiving core needs to be just scraped out of the barrel and rebuilt altogether. When it comes to the defense, all I can say is Evero is amazing. And the defense getting healthy is just such a great thing to see. It is amazing to see J.C. Horn back on the field. It's amazing to see Marquise Haynes. All of that is still really good. I'm really happy with the defense. And it makes me say, Tepper, why are you so damn on this offensive-minded coach bullshit? You just did it. You just hired a guy who was an offensive-minded coach, and that has done nothing for the development of your quarterback, any of the offensive skill players, and just having the offense be semi-competent. It has done nothing for that. Look at Houston. D'Amico Ryans, defensive area coach, and their offense is flourishing because even though he's a defensive-minded coach, he knows how to put other coaches around himself to still be able to get the most out of his players. We can't do that, and that is why our players are only able to do their bare minimum ceiling. Not even their ceiling. They're doing their bare minimum floor. They are at their floor because they cannot grow. You are giving them nothing to reach the ceiling. This is an NBA where everyone got hops to get up there. We got a 5'10 quarterback. Trust me, he ain't dunking on shit. You should not care if the coach is offensive or defensive minded. You should care that they're a good coach. That is the biggest thing. A defensive minded coach can make a good offense. A defensive minded coach can put good coordinators around to make sure an offense moves well. You have to put trust in the entire staff, not just the head coach. But the head coach has to at least be competent and understand his players, which is the biggest thing. If a head coach understands his players and gives his coordinators schemes that they should practice with their players because he knows how they work, that's what makes a good team. When you have a head coach who is able to understand what he has and what he can do with it instead of trying to fit a square peg in the round hole. This This worky. This no worky. Third downs continue to be something of an issue for the Panthers as well. Third down, she's just awful. We had a nice amount of plays, though, at 69, but we allowed 4 sacks. We had to punt 8 times, 7 penalties for 62 yards, and, of course, the interception. All of that is just terrible, but we're not surprised at this because this team is just a wash. All I want to see is development. Development is the name of the game now, because if anything happens to these players, they get hurt again. Like J.C. Horn, I want to see him stay healthy. That is all I want. That is literally all I want from him. Stay healthy and show up next year, buddy, because you are a great corner when you're on the field. The problem is you're not on the field a lot. No one could have predicted the injury issues, but hopefully he stays healthy next year, and hopefully he doesn't get injured in the final games that we have this year. I want to see Bryce Young start to do better. I want to see him get more comfortable, but he's looking like he's starting to lose his patience, which is a terrible thing because his mind and patience were one of the biggest things that we were like being touted about as the most NFL ready at this level from the draft and all the combine stuff. And now we're already wearing him thin because we are that incompetent as a team around him. I could continue screaming, yelling all day, but my words fall on deaf ears because there's not like anything. Some 300 subscriber, guy on YouTube's not going to get anything done. And I didn't watch the game, so I'm not going to talk your off about something that I wasn't able to see the entire thing for. But from what I saw, that was all that I can give you. And I will have to see you guys next time. No matter what, I will always keep pounding. But, yeah, shit, I know it hurts right now. I still believe we got our QB1 of the future. We'll be alright. See you guys next time. Goodbye.